He has just had so much time off. It's really important for him to finish both motos here today and lay down the foundation for a successful future.
All right, we're about to turn that 30-second card sideways, and after that you'll hear the reds climb, and then the gate will drop, and we'll go racing here in Moto number 2 at Budds Creek. Alessie leads them into turn 1. Will he lead them out? I think Ryan Dungey was able to knife through on the inside. They almost collide.
Wow.
Who wants it?
Alessie or Windham. I'm not sure who made it across the white stripe first, but I know that Alessie shifted gears faster than anyone and basically chopped Dungey and Windham.
So those three
didn't go down.
Yeah, I thought Dungey had the whole shot for sure until Alessie was able to come through. So it's Alessie in the 800 in the lead, the 1 of Dungey, the 22 of Reed. Where did he come from? He's challenging Windham, and he gets third.
Villopoto looks like he's going to come around the right of your screen. Green Kawasaki, Moto 1 winner. He is in 5th. Chad Reed needs to do something just like he did last week.
Like he did right now.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, explain Reed's situation here. First moto not so good, but he's back with a vengeance early in this one.
He just could not get things going, and he mentioned to us earlier that he just couldn't find his rhythm. And a champion like Chad, he has the ability to bounce back. And so rhythm and being able to ride those fast lines is what Moto 2 is going to be all about.
Dungey wants a piece of Reed. He's trying to come back, get the number 2 position away from him, with Windham 4th, Villopoto 5th, and Alessie getting away out front.
And notice there's some parts of the track where they put some water down, okay? That's to reduce the dust, but in those hard, dusty sections, that's where it's really slippery right now. You can see where the dirt is dark, it's wet. Where it's light, it's more than likely dry.
Back uphill, snaking our way past where the track hooks onto the starting line area. And Alessie already getting away, but this is the Alessie specialty, the good start, the strong early laps.
Yeah, this is our onboard section, and you're coming up over Henry Hill. Watch how bumpy it gets coming up through here, and then you drop back down into some serious braking bumps on the other end. And this is the type of section where the chassis setup, your suspension settings, and of course your technique all play a part. But when a bike is not dialed in and the rider is not jiving with it, you seem to hit every bump. Chad Reed, that's kind of how the first moto was for him. He didn't find his rhythm. We'll see this moto if he bounces back and has a way to find the rhythm and work with the bumps rather than against them.
There's Villopoto on the number 2. Green Kawasaki in 4th. He has gotten around Windham now at the end of lap 1. And in the first moto, he was in about this position early on. Then the second and third lap, he really found some extra speed and was able to work his way to the number 1 spot and take off. See the countdown clock at the top of the screen. 30 minutes and 2 laps we will do here. So we are only about 3 minutes into a longer than 30-minute race.
Let's see what sort of intensity Ryan Villopoto has here as he pushes through the second lap here. And the first moto, he started out on fire, and he wasted no time to get to the front. So you can see right now he's a few seconds behind. He's about 5 behind the leader. Reed and Dungey are in between him. He's followed by Windham, who had a pretty good first moto also.
Good battle here. Brett Metcalf on the Suzuki, Jake Weimer on the Kawasaki. That is for 6th and 7th. These two have been pretty close in a lot of the motos this year, and they have hooked up once again, although I know that they want to be a little closer to the lead pack as well. Medi on the outside.
Metcalf working the outside line, doing a good job of not following the rider in front of him. It's really hard to pass a bike when you're in the same line, okay? So he's making good use of the track, trying to find the new lines, and it's okay here early on, especially when you obviously have got the speed on the rider in front of you, and you know that you have them. When you can take some odd lines and you're moving all over the place and you're still on his rear tire, that's when you know that you got this guy.
Tightening up here, 2nd and 3rd, Reed on the 22 and Dungey on the 1. That was reversed early in this race, but Reed made a quick pass. Dungey has regrouped to come back after Reed, who is leading your championship point standings, but he had a 15-point lead coming into the first moto today. He now has a 10-point lead because Villopoto got the drop on everyone in our first race earlier today. And Reed's got to try to get those points back. He's in position to do it with the good start. The best start of all, Alessie, and we'll give you an idea of the gap here in just a moment as we begin the 3rd lap. It's less than a second, only 8/10 between Alessie. Oh, and Alessie almost threw the lead away.
Well, think about the number 22, Chad Reed. He's your points leader. He's also won all 3 second motos this year.
Mike Alessie continues to lead Chad Reed. A great battle for the number 1 spot. Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Racing from Southern Maryland. There's Alessie, kid out of the high desert of California, the veteran from Australia, all over it.
Well, look at that. Alessie makes a little mistake, and it allows Chad Reed to get to the inside line. He pulls the tear off. This is going to be a drag race. Who can get on the brakes the latest? Wow, did you see how much these bikes are jumping around?
Oh, and Reed, that was not supposed to be a spot where you can make a pass. He's going to try it on the outside anyway.
Let's see if Reed cuts back to the inside, tries to hold the tight line. Yes,
he does.
Not
but
going to
Alessie's
pay
able to
off.
hold it. Reed is all over Alessie. They're going to go side by side again. This is another drop away.
And let's see if this rider's left. Now Reed's going to fall down to the inside. Still can't make the pass.
Wow, but where is Reed even finding these opportunities?
Well, and the problem is that by doing this cat and mouse game here with Alessie, that's going to slow them down a little bit. And then Reed's going to have to worry about Dungey.
Oh yeah, Dungey in third, sitting back watching. Watch this big step up here.
Just clipped the top and then over the next roller. Reed's been trying to hold this tight line, and now Alessie picks up on it, but is it enough?
Oh! Side by side again. They're going to scrub this finish line jump together. Reed on the inside, Alessie on the outside, and I think that's enough for Reed to grab the spot. Alessie ran it hard, but finally Reed has busted the door down. That took, what, 2-3 laps of pressure. And finally the 2-2 is into the number 1 spot. How will Ryan Dungey respond to this? Will he go after Alessie?
Well, and this is the type of riding out of Chad Reed, or should we call him Sir Chad Reed at this point,
nice,
that we have not seen in the first motos the last 2 weeks. But the second motos, the Australian has been on fire, and he's shown some serious determination. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Well, Dungey got the memo. He saw Reed go to the number 1 spot, so he knows he has to follow Reed through. He's putting a charge on Alessie, and again, you do not see a threat at the moment from Villopoto, who is in 4th. So this is the golden opportunity for all 3 of these riders to get away from Villopoto, who has won every single race he has ever competed in at this racetrack.
Yeah, Villopoto just a couple seconds behind, and as Dungey tries to work into the number 2 position, should be noted that even though we got 20 minutes to go, that if Dungey was to finish the 2-2 and Reed the 3-1, Reed would still win the overall. So the math is going to get pretty tight here.
There's Dungey showing a wheel to Alessie on the inside. Here we go. One of the fastest sections of this track.
Dungey flies down Henry Hill, and look at the wide line. Let's see if he can carry more momentum around the outside and do something with it.
Oh, no. Alessie controlling the good spots on the racetrack. Dungey trying everything he can come up with.
Yeah, the long line didn't work, and it also allowed Ryan Villopoto to catch up about a second. Now you're starting to see him creep into the screen.
Yeah, that's not what these guys want to see. Villopoto, who is lethal on this track. Here is Dungey putting the challenge to Alessie in the same spot Reed did. Nice job walking the tightrope on the inside, and Dungey's going to get the spot. That could not have been easy, Jeff, for him to hold that inside over those jumps at that speed.
Oh, it takes some serious physical strength and some technique to maneuver the bike, and that's the type of track where you're really using your lower body to bend the bike around those rollers and those doubles.
Give us the progressive hole shot replay here, Jeff, and explain how Alessie got the hole shot after Dungey was leading down the stretch.
It's Windham on the inside. See, he taps the back of Alessie. Both riders hammering the throttle, and it's Alessie that just edges him out. And then watch Alessie get up on the side of the hill. Oh, and they go out of sight. Alessie shifted gears on that 450 KTM and really laid the power down.
Uh-oh, here comes Villopoto. And these two riders, no strangers to each other. We've talked a lot about them racing as kids in the amateur ranks as Villopoto triples around the outside. But they also had a, sorry, they just want to mention, they had a battle back here in 2006 when they first met up as professionals. And a couple of turns from here, Villopoto straight parked Alessie. He took him down, and he said that was revenge for all their battles as amateurs. So there's a lot of history between these two at this track. There's Villopoto on the outside.
The fans know all this, too. They're cheering these guys on. We have got a fantastic crowd here. You see them all lined up under the trees trying to get a little bit of shade. Good 90 degrees out here. The humidity is really high. And here in the second moto, this is when the physical conditioning, this is when it counts. This is when you're doing all your training and everything during the week, and you're suffering through all of that. This is when it pays off.
Villopoto, he knows it's time to go. We're nearing the halfway point of this moto. You see the countdown clock at the top. And while he tussles with Alessie for third, Reed and Dungey are leaders. Oh, a mistake! Reed and Dungey are getting away, and now even further away from Villopoto as he clipped that hay bale.
It's going to give Alessie a little bit of breathing room, maybe a chance to get his heart rate back down, to focus on the lines that he wants to ride, not the defensive lines that he might be forced to ride, and get back in his groove. And Mike has the ability to do that.
But Villopoto has the ability to close the gap back in. So it'll be interesting as the 800 and the 2 square off for the number 3 spot. Ryan Villopoto has caught back up to Mike Alessie. So here's your race for third. Alessie on the left, Villopoto on the right. The big step up. Villopoto clears the whole thing. Is that going to be enough to allow him to make the pass? No.
Wow, look at Alessie. He just stayed in his line, but Villopoto relentless.
Wow.
Over the finish line jump.
I didn't think he'd be able to make this happen. He started on the outside, switched to the inside, and Villopoto's got the spot.
He's just got too much strength at this point of the moto for Mike Alessie. It's a great ride by Mike Alessie. I cannot underestimate how impressed I am with him coming back from the injury in the first round, and to be riding basically a 3-4 last week. He was docked one position, so he goes 4-4 at high point. Now he's coming back another top 4 ride here with about half the race left to go on one of the toughest tracks of the year.
Reed and Dungey duking it out for the number 1 spot. It's as close as they have been since the opening lap of this race when Reed made a pass on Dungey. Now Reed gotta hope that Dungey doesn't repay him and get him back here in the second half of the race.
Well, these guys are laying down an incredible pace. 205s for both of our leaders.
Wow.
Alessie and, Alessie was a 209s, obviously why he was headed backwards. With Villopoto, a 207 last time around. So Villopoto's about 8 seconds behind this group here. And these guys need to keep working at it because Villopoto may just close that gap up if they play the cat and mouse game.
Aaron Bates, what's happening trackside?
Quite a battle that's taking place right now between Reed and Dungey. Both of those boys made minor changes during the afternoon for the second moto. Ryan Dungey just took minor changes here and there. Nothing overly crazy. This is just to adapt to the way the track is changing. But Chad Reed, on the other hand, fresh tires from him, just looking for any additional traction.
Wow, so Reed not changing much. Struggling in Moto 1, strong in Moto 2. So, like you said, Jeff, earlier, it's all on him. The bike's fine.
It's on him. Just get some fresh rubber on the bike with those nice sharp edges, because you're going to need it. These sections right here, when you're leaning the bike over and you're on the throttle, and even through there, that last double down has got a wet spot there. And, man, when you get the right tire setup, it seems like you can do whatever you want with the bike. You can put it in any line. You can go up this off-camber hill right here and just lean the bike into the turn as the track's going away from you and just ride on those side knobs. Oh, it was so good. I'm telling you, factory bike. Factory tires.
By the end of this race, Jeff Evans coming out of retirement. Just watching this battle on this racetrack has got you fired up. But why wouldn't it? Look how good this is as Dungey is ready to try to make a pass.
Hey, if I could scream and take my shirt off and wave it right now, I'd be one of those fans out there. I love this stuff. I love seeing what these riders are doing. We spoke about it at the opening of the show. I really felt that these riders were going to separate themselves from the rest of the pack, and so far I was right.
Well, we thought it'd be the 3 doing it, but the 2 are separating themselves. Reed just ran a 206, Dungey a 205.8, and Villopoto a 208.7. So they're about 2 seconds quicker than Villopoto right now.
And that's what's impressive about what our leaders are doing is not only, you have a tendency when you're in the lead, when somebody catches you, to start riding, I'm defensive. Reed said, no, I'm not going to ride defensive here. I'm going to step it up. And I'm going to raise the level once again because I've won every second moto this year, and I'm not giving this up here at Butts Creek either.
We have seen some great races between these 2 riders already in the Young 2011 series. Had it in the second moto at our opener in Hangtown. Had it in the second moto of round 2 at Freestone. Another great one here. It's so hard to pick a favorite between Dungey and Reed. They have been so equally matched so far.
Yeah, and Dungey tried a new line there. It didn't work. He's just outside of the roost off of Chad's bike, so no big mistake. Just has to remember that next time around after Henry Hill, he's going to have to funnel down to the inside. The outside is not going to work there.
Whoa! Dungey doing everything he can to keep the bike on the inside of that left-hand turn. He just held onto the motorcycle. With Roger DeCoster, the man, as the best man. And the man in this moto is Chad Reed, looking to make a little history of his own. Wants to win this thing. While we are away at break, Ryan Dungey was all over Reed, and Reed has weathered the storm and pulled back ahead.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that in 2009, when Chad was with Team Suzuki, Roger DeCoster was guiding him through his first and only, to this point, AMA Motocross Championship. So lots of history made as Chad wrapped up that title here at this facility.
That's right.
In what was it a race or a personal watercraft race, a jet ski race? It was something.
Yes.
It was really wet that day.
Yeah, the whole track was a Bud's Creek, basically.
Yeah.
Now we're going to explain how the overall works. Look at the top of the screen. This would be your overall. Reed, if he wins the moto, a third and a first would give him 45 points. He would tie Villopoto on points, but Reed would win the tiebreaker by virtue of the better second moto, and Dungey would finish third. He'd be 1 point back. So Dungey essentially has to catch Reed. If he beats him in this moto, he beats him for the entire afternoon.
Well,
and Dungey's not done.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of our point system. 25 for first, 22-20. And you get that one extra point for winning the moto. That's the incentive for going out. And the overalls don't count towards championship points. We score the championship for each individual moto.
You just saw the leaders go by. We'll give you an idea of the gap now between those two and Villopoto. And they have just left Villopoto in this one. This will actually, should be, the first ever defeat for Villopoto at this track. He had won 9 out of 9 motos in his career at Bud's Creek. Way back now in third. But behind him, Kevin Windham in fourth. Great ride for the 33-year-old who is probably going to take the rest of the summer off. He was only here as a replacement ride for Josh Grant, who is now back from injury. So Kevin did the job, rode the bike while Grant was out, and he'll probably call it a summer. But what a way to end this little guest performance.
Wow, look at that. Double down. That's a blind little double into that turn. Kevin, last lap around was at 210. Villopoto was just about a half a second or so faster. But let's see if Windham can keep the charge going, keep the momentum on, and pick off Villopoto here. That would ruin Villopoto's day at this point if he dropped one more position.
Yeah, because at least right now, Villopoto and Reed would end the day tied in points. If Windham gets Villopoto, Villopoto would drop from second overall to third behind Dungey, and he would lose a couple of points on the day to Reed. Doesn't want that to happen. So we've been wondering who could maybe spoil the party with our top 3, and maybe it's Kevin Windham. What are you hearing about Kevin, Aaron?
Well, if he's going to spoil, he's definitely got a little bit of time to do so, but I was speaking with Brian Palma, his mechanic, and the only thing that he had changed up, a special request, a Kevin Windham request, a brand new shock for the second moto. He just really likes the feel, and he wants to be comfortable at his final race this summer.
Well, that's interesting. It seems like Aaron is referring to a new shock with a new setup, fresh oil and all that, but the same spec. And now a shock actually takes a little bit of time to break in, and a fresh one seems to be just what the doctor ordered at this point for Team Honda and Kevin Windham.
And we expect the other American Honda racing rider, Trey Kennard, to be back. They're saying maybe at Millville, Minnesota in about a month's time. Honda, his team has been decimated by injuries this year. That's why they brought Windham in. Windham was only supposed to race the indoor Supercross tour. Now that Josh Grant is back, Windham can take the rest of the summer off. But every time Windham has a good ride like this, he probably starts thinking twice and thinking maybe I should race a few more. In fact, look at this. He has closed back up to Villopoto. This is a bad lap for Villopoto. He had a little gap built up, but it's gone.
Yeah, look at Kevin right now. This is when he is at his best. He is effortless out there, flowing around the track. He has that rhythm that we spoke of earlier, and Villopoto seems to have no rhythm at this point. I don't know if it's physical, if it's mental, but right now, Villopoto is definitely come under fire from the veteran Kevin Windham, seeing he's 13th all-time on the overall win list. pretty incredible career that he's had. And that's the thing about Kevin Windham, and that's why Honda, whether he's on Geico Honda team or rides a factory team, you can always count on him being there. He's been one of the most consistent riders. Doesn't seem to get hurt a lot, and always right there.
Well, the fans want him to be always right there on the podium. And if he could have his last race of the summer and end it in 3rd place, they will go crazy here at Budds Creek, because Windham is quite possibly the most popular rider on the tour. He's been around so long, so much respect for what he's done. And how about this? With just over 2 laps to go, he is trying to get Villopoto for the number 3 spot.
I'm telling you, Weege, the number 2 of Ryan Villopoto, our first Moto winner, he's out there, and he just does not have that flow and the rhythm that he had in Moto 1. He stretched it out a little bit on Windham, and now we go back to the lead.
And Ryan Dungey is still close enough to make something happen down the stretch with a lap and a half to go. Reed leads it. Dungey is right there. We've seen this happen between these two several times this year. So maybe watch the lines here. What do you think? Does Dungey have some spots picked out to try to make the pass on the final lap?
Yeah, Dungey's on it now. Reed didn't draw such good lines going up that last hill. You see his mechanic there, Lars, pointing to the back, telling him that, hey, the competition is there.
And Dungey is still right there. Who's going to win this one on Father's Day weekend? It would be a special one for whoever does it. Only 2nd Father's Day ever for Chad Reed. He would be happy. We talked to a bunch of these riders about what their dads mean to them, especially important in motocross because it's a family sport and dad's got to help you get to the races. Want to talk about a cool experience? How about trying to wrestle the lead away from Chad Reed in the last lap of a Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross event? That's what Ryan Dungey's trying to do. You see Reed, the 22, and Dungey, the number 1. It is still close with a half a lap to go.
Both riders having to pick their way through the lapped riders, but through the mechanics area, you see everyone from Team Honda waving the towels and cheering on 22 of Chad Reed. He's on his way to winning the overall.
I think he's going to do it.
Moto 2.
Man, a terrible performance in Moto 1. He bounces back strong. He beats Villopoto, Dungey, Alessie, and the rest. Chad Reed, 1 lap to go. Can he do this? Can he get it? And with Dungey being this close and this much lap traffic, I mean, what is even running through their mind right now? I mean, you got to deal with lappers, with pressure, with lines, fatigue.
This is when the intensity is so high because you know what's on the line. And your body's hurting, your hands are hurting, your heart rate and your lungs are just completely maxed out, and you're just letting it all on the line, and you're a little loose right now. Okay, you're not like your body is a little bit weaker than at the start of the moto, but this is what you train for, is to be able to ride the full 30 minutes plus 2 laps.
Aaron, what do you have on the 22?
A very cute Chad Reed celebrating his 2nd Father's Day with baby Tate. He has got 2 hands with a heart in the middle. I love Dad on the back of his butt patch that he's sporting here around Budds Creek for Father's Day.
That's incredible artwork for a 1-year-old.
Yeah, impressive. Well, you know the guys at his gear company that really helped out. Okay, will Tate get to see his dad, Chad, take the win? Again, I think the lap traffic hurt Dungey more than Reed, because look at Reed has stretched it out a bit again.
But he really has no time to waste unless there was an issue with Dungey. Chad takes a look back, and that is a great opportunity in that 180-degree turn to see just where the competition is. Takes another look back here. You can tell he's got a little cushion. He's got to feel good about that. But there's still some really technical sections here coming up that Chad's going to have to maneuver through if he's going to take this Moto win. See right there, you cannot let up. You got to take it all the way to the checkered flag.
Well, this is shades of our 2nd Moto of the opener at Hangtown, when Dungey, with 2 laps to go, put in the charge, got to the rear wheel of Reed, but didn't have enough left after that charge to challenge him to the checkered flag.
And that's kind of been the story of Dungey all year. He's just been a click off from being able to win the motos and win the overall. He's been really close.
Chad Reed looks over his shoulder. He doesn't see any competition, so he looks forward, and all he sees is the checkered flag. Reed is going to win the overall here at Budds Creek.
What an incredible 2nd effort from Chad Reed.
Hey, nice job back for Josh Grant. Give me the keys to the race. And what do you think? Good performance by him. He's in the top 10.
Top 10. He's doing exactly what he needed to do here. And the most important thing was ride every lap.
He did. He got all the laps in. He stayed healthy. Rocky Mountain ATV MC keys to the race, so he followed them, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's
Welcome
good for
back,
Josh Grant.
And happy Father's Day.
First Father's Day for him. That's correct. So Grant will take the mantle from Kevin Windham for the Honda team over the next couple of weeks. But another Honda has got the win, and that's Chad Reed. He holds off Ryan Dungey. The final margin of victory, 4 seconds, and Reed gained 3 seconds on Dungey on the last lap alone. So once again, Reed is the strong man down the stretch, and he's got himself his 3rd victory of the year.